what we saw yesterday on the court before the game, I mean, generally speaking, in the game between Partizan and Bayern was something that I've never seen. Like unprecedented scenes.
Yeah.
I've never seen a home team being in a home game looking like they're in an away arena. I mean, and this is like the drama has peaked, I think. The whole story with Jelko, of course, resigning, and the team's management is now being blamed for all of it, of course, because of the Jelko statement. He had the public interview and he said that, there were a lot of things done behind his back, like signing players that he didn't want and blah, 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 blah. So all the attention now is towards the Ostoja Mihajlovic, the team's director. President, rather.
They want him to step down. These are their demands, that he needs to step down, and they are also, I think, targeting the agent, Miško Raznatović, because of his ties with the president. But I'm not sure about that. I just read the statement translated into English, so that's what I got from there.
And I don't know, I've never seen, first of all, when they ran into the court, I saw that on social media, that wasn't on the official broadcast, but when the team came to the court, they got booed right away.
Yeah.
Then team introductions start, you see that the away team is kind of booed a little bit, but then the home team is booed even more. And this is something that I've never seen. I don't remember ever a team being booed pre-game. I've seen occasions where the home team plays horribly and it's a bad stretch. And even with Žalgiris, I think that happened before.
It happened a lot of times in Spain, for example. Yeah. The last El Clasico, people were booing with 5 or 4 minutes left. They were demanding Joan Peñarroya to be fired, but that's a different scenario. Like, you support your team, the game goes wrong, and then you just start blaming someone, the president, the coach, or somebody else, or the players. But this is a very specific case. A unique case, I would say. First of all, when Bayern Munich team was introduced, they were actually cheering Vladimir Lucic, first of all, a former Partizan player. And even Isaiah Mike got some cheers because he played for Partizan last season. He wasn't really spectacular or anything like that, but they remembered him.
And because Jelko mentioned that he didn't want him to go, and the team decided to let him go.
So this is the reason why the only player from Partizan that was actually cheered yesterday was Isaac Bonga.
Not the only, we'll get to the other ones.
Later on, Dwayne Washington got some support, maybe even
Nikolatis was.
But Bonga from the very beginning was supported by the fans, because I'm not sure if that was a public statement or this is just some rumor being spread that he said, if Jelko steps down, I want to leave. Basically, he was stepping up for the coach.
Yeah,
that's why they supported him. But everybody had some posters or banners with Jelko. They had some messages. I couldn't understand everything what was written or what they were chanting, but most of the stuff was directed to either Ostoja or was just a supporting message for Željko Obradović. So the game starts, and for the first 4 or 5 minutes, I think, until the first TV timeout, people were just chanting Obradović Željko. That was the only thing you could hear in the arena.
The other chant was something like "We are Željko," something like that, and then obviously those pictures of Željko during the anthem. That was incredible to see.
Even for me in the studio, it was a bit hard to focus on the game itself.
Exactly. It was not about basketball.
I just couldn't do my routine play-by-play stuff because I was always thinking only about the fans and this protest. And actually, I want to say respect to all the people that were there, because if you want to express your opinion, this is the civilized way to do it, like by chanting, by showing support to the coach, bringing the posters. Because maybe in the past, even in Serbia or in some other countries, things could go wrong very easily. People could just interrupt the game, run into the court, do some crazy things. But no, they just expressed their opinion loudly. People could hear it everywhere, all over Europe. And I think this is the right way. So respect to everybody, because it didn't have any impact on the game. The game happened. The players played. They did their job. but the fans, they had their voice, and now I'm just curious to see what happens next week. Obviously, we're probably going to get to that. I don't know if you want to talk about the game at all.
I want to talk about the other part of the game that I was playing while watching this game, and that was figuring out who's getting booed and who's getting cheered. Because this was my focal point. I was paying attention to the reactions mostly. Like you said, it was hard to look at basketball that's happening. Of course, first of all, just wanted to also to wrap it up about Željko. I've never seen a connection between a coach and the fans of the team that's so strong. Like we've seen, I don't know what to compare it to. We've seen coaches stepping down maybe before, but it's never been a reaction like that. And I couldn't even imagine, like, even if Šaras, let's say back in Žalgiris prime days of the 2017s, 18s, Šaras stepped down after a bad stretch. I'm not sure we would have seen such a reaction, but
that's a good example, because if you search for really deep coach and club relationships, Šaras and Žalgiris could be the prime example. But in my opinion, it's just a hypothetical scenario. If something like this happened in Kaunas, the ultras might protest, the ultras might react, but I don't believe that the casuals would react in such way. Like, because yesterday it was the whole gym. It wasn't like ultras somewhere are protesting, but the others are just spectators, so they just clap their team after they score a bucket.
Yeah.
After the alley-oop play with Tyreek Jones, it was a huge dunk, but
zero
reaction. It seemed like the bigger the play, the more we're gonna boo.
Yeah. I mean, there were three ways that you saw reactions. There were either the silence treatment for some players after buckets or missed shots. Others were getting straight up boos, and I think Jabari Parker was getting the worst of it. Yeah. I'm not sure if any other
player... He was playing in the first half. Like, he could have been booed even if Željko was the coach.
Yeah, but he was, missing shots at first, getting booed there. Then he made a shot, still got booed. Yeah. Then he just got the ball as the game progressed. And he got booed just having the ball in his hands.
And then they clapped Lucic when he was shooting free throws.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, what exactly the reasoning is behind this, because Jabari Parker obviously is not playing the best season of his life, one of the worst seasons statistically probably in the EuroLeague, but he had some family tragedy happening, went back to United States, I believe. But I didn't see any names in particular written in that statement translation from Željko, so I was struggling to understand the logic between the boos and the cheers. The Isaac Bonga one is obvious, but like other guys, I wasn't sure. Like Tyreek Jones, a lot of boos. Even Bruno Fernando got boos. Like everyone got boos, and I think
booze. You mean like alcohol?
No, booze, like BOOS.
Okay, man.
And also Vanja Marinkovic, the captain of the team. I think they were
the only moment where people kind of switched off a little bit was when Pokuševski got injured. It seemed like a serious injury. I haven't read any reports yet, but it looked like it could be an ACL injury. So then people, showed some empathy because, a person got hurt, a young player got hurt. So they kind of cheered him when he was leaving the court with the support of the medical staff. So that was the only moment in the game when they actually forgot about the protest, forgot about the treatment of the players, that they are now going to let them feel like they're not playing at home, actually. Because, somebody got injured is just an unlucky part of the game.
Yeah, and like you said, some guys got some cheers, Dwayne Washington being one of them, and that started mostly happening in the second half.
Because Washington showed some spark, because he actually played good. It was his career high performance, actually.
Again, this season he's done it more than once now with career highs. So he's the leader now after Tyreek Jones is injured. But anyways, I feel like that was an unlikely win for this team with the circumstances, with the way that the game looked in the first half. I thought Bayern was really they had the chance to take this game easily in my eyes, and it looked like Partizan players are kind of hesitant, shook up maybe by the crowd. I'm not sure. They were missing a lot, and I guess it was about the hustle plays in the second half for Partizan. I mean, you look at the offensive rebounding. Tyreek Jones had as many offensive rebounds as the whole team of Bayern, 7.
Yeah, and also the turnovers.
And turnovers, wow.
Bayern turned the ball over like 17 times. Partizan only had 6 turnovers. The issue in the first half for Partizan was actually making shots. They missed a lot of shots. The percentages were really bad. But Dwayne Washington in a halftime interview said, we're okay on offense. We just have to continue this way. We're going to start making shots. It will be fine. And he was right, because in the second half, they really started making some shots, making good plays, and maybe some extra effort on defense, which was obviously necessary. However, Bayern Munich was a favorable opponent for Partizan to win even under these circumstances, because Bayern Munich have problems of their own. You can see a huge contrast between the starting lineup and the second unit, because when they played in the end of the third quarter and the beginning of the fourth with the second unit, that's where they lost the game. That's when Partizan built, like, I believe, a 13-point lead, because the only person who could actually play with the ball and score for the second unit was Ratan Mays, and he hit some tough shots. But other than that, there was nothing. So the only way for them was to play Dinwiddie, play Obst, play Vogtman, play Lucic, but they cannot play 35, 40 minutes, because that's not also the way to victory.
Yeah.
They made a little run in the fourth quarter. Dinwiddie actually had his best game so far. He scored 25 points. He started really well. He drew some fouls.
He got to the line
got points
a lot
from the free throw line. But it's just that Bayern, they're lacking depth. They lack ball handlers. The player who was signed to be the main point guard is injured. Obviously, I'm talking about Gytis. So that was a favorable opponent for you to beat, because if you compare the two rosters, Željko or no Željko, Herbert or no Herbert, Partizan has more players and more quality. It just makes sense that they actually won the game.
And
they didn't win because they played some spectacular basketball.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
I mean, in my eyes, they won because they had that stretch where they got stops. Their defense, like you said, they picked it up both effort-wise and focus-wise. Because in the first half, I'm sorry, but some of these closeouts by Jabari Parker or other guys, you just don't see any effort.
Yeah.
You're just
and
like,
a lot of miscommunication on defense.
And then I'm like, okay, I get it. I get these fans, you know. If you're not seeing effort in the first place, then it's really hard to cheer for these players. But then second half, like you said, Dwayne Washington mentioned this in the halftime interview. They really picked it up, and they got consecutive stops. And I think it was the shots that they made finally after those stops. And Dwayne Washington probably the guy to talk about the most, because he also kind of closed the game where Bayern got back into it. It was like a 2-point lead only.
Yeah, they
with
cut
3
it to
minutes
2.
left.
It was 79-77 after Dinwiddie's layup.
Yeah, so, and then Dwayne, I think, hit the 3-pointer. Jabari hit the 3-pointer after.
Corner free, that was huge, actually.
Yeah.
There was a little help from the strong side, and he used that space to hit the shot and get the lead back to 5. That was also a big shot, even though the game for Parker in general was not great.
It wasn't until that moment.
So Tyreek Jones and Dwayne Washington were two best players, and the connection was obvious. There were, I believe, 3 alley-oop plays. Washington passing the ball to Tyreek.
Season high in assists, actually, for Partizan.
One time they tried to throw a lob to Bruno Fernando, and they realized this is not Tyreek Jones. He doesn't jump that high. So yeah, they didn't do that. But even in the end, there were some silly plays that I believe if Željko was still the coach, he would react like mad, because you have a 7-point lead with 8 seconds left. You don't need an alley-oop. I think it was Bonga. He threw an alley-oop. They lost the ball. So if they hit the free, maybe Sargunas happens, you know? So yeah, this team still lacks discipline, attention to details and all that stuff. They got the win. Maybe next week they will have a new coach. Who knows?
That's the biggest question.
The interim coach was asked the question after the game about his feelings for the Serbian derby, and he said, "I'm not thinking about that. Now we have a game in Romania, ABA League game, and that's my only focus. That's the most important game to me right now." The players also didn't really want to talk about next week, probably because they just don't know what will be the surroundings for the next week's derby. Maybe there will be a new coach already. Maybe the fans will start supporting the team. Because, well, when they play Zvezda and they are the home team, I'm not sure.
I can't imagine them booing their own team.
What do you do? Like you boo for 40 minutes straight? Because it's easy to do it against Bayern. Bayern has former Partizan players. Bayern is a very neutral team. You don't have any anger towards Bayern. It's basically neutral feelings.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And just one last thing I wanted to say, like when Partizan signed Nick Calates, it didn't look like a game changer because obviously he's a player being close to maybe retiring, 1 or 2 seasons left. And his performances so far, if you just look at the numbers, they weren't great. But yesterday we saw some glimpses of the good old Nick. He
was trying to shut down Spencer Dinwiddie. A lot of fouls were called against him.
Yeah, but I mean, offensively, the way he was running the show in the fast breaks, those off the floor passes that he's known for, got some nice assists, a couple of floaters and layups. Of course, the other team was, as always, daring him to shoot the free. And after missing his first 3 shots, he actually hit one in the second half when Folkman wasn't really guarding him. So we saw some glimpses of the good old Nick. If he can do that consistently, that would help Partizan a lot if he could play 15 or 20 minutes. And another player who needs to be mentioned actually is from Bayern side. That was Johannes Folkman.
With the full court passes?
Full court passes. It happened like 3 times.
2 or 3, yeah.
And it was just always Lucic on the other end. But he got 18 rebounds. That is his career high. His stat line is 10 points, 7 assists, 18 rebounds.
Wow.
Could have been a triple-double. And the passes, well, that's Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, and they were accurate.
And he's known for that. He's actually doing this for German national team. He has that NFL pass in him. The quarterback, if I'm right.
I don't.
Not an expert on the NFL. I just watched the Super Bowl because of entertainment.
Yeah.
I don't understand the game.
Okay, we got a completely different side topic, but anyways.
That's what usually happens with me.
Partizan, very questionable future right now. We don't know what's going to happen. Like you raised many good questions. That's to be answered in the future. We'll see if this team can bounce back. And I mean, they're 3 wins away from the 10th spot, which is the play-in seed. So some major changes would have to happen in the way they're playing defense and the way they're performing. And maybe that's with a new coach. We'll see.